markets are going to be changing somewhat soon. But
that's pretty interesting. Okay.
Bitcoin gives me like a peace of mind knowing that there's that consistent, like traceable mathematical change in supply. The mining reward gets cut down every about 4 years.
Every 4 years,
210,000 blocks, is it?
Yeah.
And that's coming up around next year. So markets are going to be changing somewhat soon, or at least within that period or slightly after, because of supply change.
Sure.
And I don't know. I think that accountability in the change in which the amount of like Bitcoin is available within the market helps make businesses account for their finances a little bit easier. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong on this, but
that's pretty interesting. Okay.
It's knowing that like, after every certain amount of blocks, like there will be a shorter amount being pumped into the market over time, versus what we have now with the fiat system, where
it's like infinite inflation.
But not only is it infinite, it's unpredictable.
Somewhat, yeah.
Sentiments can change, like certain like international policies might take place, and one government might say, "Oh, you know what? Time to either slash zeros or add extra zeros into circulation."
Yep.
So on that end, like I think, for me personally, Bitcoin gives me like a peace of mind knowing that there's that consistent, like traceable mathematical change in supply.
Totally agree.
Like from my understanding of economy, like economics, like lower supply and same demand, like
equals price up.
Yeah.
Correct. No, that's like the only thing that matters for price.
Supply and demand.
Yeah.
So
yeah, there's like that gets me thinking about a lot of stuff, you know. Cause but yeah, go ahead. No, we'll get into this later.
Yeah,
so I want to talk about more like other stuff, like Ethereum stuff.
Yeah, touch on it.
I was thinking like, it's a common misconception that I see a lot.
Okay.
That a lot of people think BTC is deflationary. Not that you didn't assume that. I'm just saying like, because it's like there's less and less being produced, right, over time. So the curve is like this, right?
Yeah, correct.
Or whatever
amounts of supply coming into the market.
Yeah, but it's still coming into the market, right? So there's still inflation in BTC. It's just that it's a decreasing inflation over time.
I guess.
I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just making a distinction between because people use the word deflationary. The only one that's truly deflationary is amongst the high caps, the blue chip. I'm not gonna talk about some coin in the
Ethereum with the burning.
Ethereum is now deflationary after the upgrade they made.
But don't they have still high amount of production though? Like more Ethereum is still created and going into the market. I'm not 100%.
No, that's totally fair. No, it's not, as far as I know.
Okay.
And we can go to the website. It's ultrasound.money. And there you can see the inflation curve, which is actually deflationary, meaning they are actually taking coins and burning them, so removing them from circulation. You know, I'm not trying to like even. Well, I mean, the juxtaposition is obvious here, right? But I'm not saying it's better. It's just it's exciting. You know, if you own Ether,
we can say it here. We're good. We can say that. We can say it smoke. If you want to say it, we can say it. Say it with your heart.
We're not in Wynwood. All right.
No Max is gonna come and get you. I promise. Well, maybe he might. I don't know.
No.
Scare them, bro.
No, we're pro opinions.
I'm pro whatever floats our boats.
No. I was just. It's just honestly exciting to have a coin that is deflationary. because before this year that wasn't really a thing, you know.
So what makes Ethereum deflationary is the fact that it's burning more than what's going into supply.
Yes, they're also minting. They're also producing more.
Okay.
They're also they're producing some and they're burning some.
Yeah.
But the amount that they burn is higher than the amount that they produce. So therefore, as time goes on, there's less and less and less.
So now, wouldn't the argument for BTC be just that at one point it will become deflationary because at one point there will be no more coming into production?
That's what I was gonna say.
Totally.
And then at that point,
it's only 21 million.
It's only,
but that's gonna be until 2040.
Yeah.
2140.
So yeah, far at
2140.
Wow,
yeah,
I was so off.
You're a little short, but it's okay.
50 years. I was like, it's actually 100.
No one's gonna remember.
Yeah, because at the end of that peak is gonna be like only like a couple BT. Yeah.
So like, the part that I thought was interesting was the amount of blocks that it takes before the halving. Because I knew that there was a certain amount, but I always chopped it up to 4 years because everyone was like, it's easier to think of years than blocks. Of course. Then when I realized that the blocks was 210,000, it was like divisible by the 21 million.
Correct.
So then I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So everybody needs to have one Bitcoin.
So like at the end of the halvings, like when there's still a reward for the Coinbase, it is going to be the last reward is going to be 1 Satoshi. So people are going to be fighting over 1 Satoshi to mint the blocks.
Yeah.
Granted, I think they have like a tipping mechanism for trying to get your transaction in on certain blocks faster.
Correct. It's like a first in, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So there's these miners aren't going to be working strictly for that 1 Satoshi. They're also going to be working for the fees that come from.
Of course.
From that. But like, yeah, what I was thinking when you brought up about the deflationary asset thing, was that at some point there will be no more Bitcoin being minted, and I would assume at that point it would be a deflationary asset. Up until then, it won't be.
Yeah, correct. Well, at that point, there's no inflation at all.
Yeah.
So it's neither deflationary nor inflationary.
Well, actually, there are like lost coins.
Right. Those are confiscated coins.
No, I mean, like
some of them are lost.
People lose their seed phrases.
Yeah.
So at that point, those wallets will never be accessed again.
Correct.
Theoretically,
you know what percentage that is of all BTC?
So
I'm just curious. Not that anybody should know that.
Like, lost right now?
Last number I saw was like 5 million, or like between 4 and 5 million.
What?
Wait.
$5 million? Or
no,
5 million BTC.
So for me,
no way.
Well, the number that I saw was about 3 million lost.
3 million total.
3 million total.
I don't believe that, man.
Yeah, like so like 19.
That's like you telling me basically like 20% of the US dollar supply is lost.
Of the US dollar supply?
I'm just saying, like, 5 million BTC. That's like 20% of the whole BTC supply.
So it's a good chunk of BTC that's missing.
I think it's like a ridiculous amount, really.
The reason why it's so high, granted, he's looking for the number now, but
I wonder what gets aggregated there.
So the reason, so part of it would be numbers
20% has been lost already.
No way.
So part of the reason why that would likely change.
20% of all Bitcoin is lost, unrecoverable.
Unrecoverable.
Shows.
Well, so not confiscated, but the private C has been
you've lost access to where it's been stored.
Bro, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying like I have a hard time believing.
I don't think that's the number. I get
so you. The reason why
that's like 20%. 20% of all the monetary supply is inaccessible.
You have to remember at the beginning when Bitcoin first came out, the Coinbase was 50 Bitcoin. And it was easy to mine.
50 BTC blocks when you solo mining.
So then a lot of people were just stacked up and lost their hard drives with their seed phrases on them.
Correct. That's it.
So imagine just 10 people losing
1,000.
Yeah.
In like
10,000, 10,000, 100,000, 300,000 Bitcoin.
They fucked it up for the rest of us.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily say they messed it up, but more so that the total circulating supply has decreased. So it's, at least from what I've heard, people call it like a community donation. Since there's less supply in the network,
sure,
everyone else's Bitcoin goes up in value.
Also, I don't think that's not including the amount of Bitcoin that has been sent to the Genesis block.
I forgot to the Satoshi wallet.
The Satoshi wallet. Yeah. They're still sending it over there too. Just with messages.
That's just. Did that move recently? There was some news about that moving or something. No,
I don't.
No, I guess when that moves is going to be like a huge deal.
If that were to happen, like
the sky's falling.
I don't know if the sky's falling.
No, the sky's falling.
But it'd be headlining everywhere. Like.
Yeah, that's cool.
Satoshi.